Top of the morning to you people. Right, just a bit of an update. It's now Wednesday morning. It's about 7:45, 8 o'clock in the morning. Been up since 5:30 again. Nothing again, not even any liners. It's just as dead as a doornail. The whole lake's just completely dead. There's nobody getting nothing out at all. And altogether now I think there's about, I don't know, 15 anglers on, 16 anglers on the lake. Nobody's getting anything. There's a couple more lads turned up last night, about 10 pegs to the right of me, fishing off near where the spit is, near where the bailiffs are, where they're camped out, but nothing. They haven't had anything. It just seems like nothing's happening at all. There's no shows. I've seen no shows of carp at all since I've been here, apart from that one carp that I've seen up in the water. At least I think it was carp. It looked like a biggish mirror. Looked about 30 odd pound. And then I've seen a few shows down this side of carp when I got here. And then over my spots there. And the first night I was getting liners on them rods out there. I had a funny pick up on this rod, which was definitely a fish, but I don't think it was a carp. Like I say, I think it was just a roach or silverfish just picked it up. Because if it was a carp, the lead would have come off, and the lead was like half off and half on, if you get what I mean. But the wind's been blowing into here now for all last night, yesterday, from the night before really. So it's blowing in northwesterly at the minute. It is, but I don't know. When I walked around yesterday, apparently there hasn't been nothing out on the whole complex for over 24 hours. So you're looking at 2 days now where there's been nothing out over the whole complex by the sounds of it, and that's over all 6 lakes. So this weather, this change of weather has definitely made a difference. I mean, the temperature's dropped. I mean, in the first thing in the mornings and last thing at night, over the last couple of days, it's been freezing. I mean, I've had my big thick jacket on, and then I've got my t-shirt on, my hoodie on, and even then I could still feel the cold a little bit until I got into bed. So it's mind-blowing decisions. What do I do? I'm going to take the dog for a walk in a bit, take my rods out about 10:30, 11 o'clock, take the dog for a walk, and I'm thinking about moving tomorrow morning. This lake just ain't having it. If all the lakes ain't having it, I can't see this one having it because it's deeper. So if anything, I think one of the other lakes is going to end up fishing better, but it's definitely the weather. Definitely the weather that's affected it. But the forecast, I think, is supposed to change tomorrow and over the next few days. There is forecast little bits of rain, but it's supposed to be blowing a southwesterly again and supposed to be a bit warmer. So I think I'm going to move tomorrow morning. Whether or not I'm going to move down to the other end on here or onto one of the other lakes, I'm not sure. I think I'll probably end up moving onto one of the other lakes. I don't know, we'll have to see. I mean, 5, there's a peg on 5 that I quite like the look of, where nobody else can interfere with you, because you're coming up to the weekend soon, and I just don't want to get in somewhere where I'm going to get people in either side of me, because it's just not worth it. It just ruins your fishing, especially when it's fishing as sticky as what it is anyway. But I'll have another good look round again. I'll take the dog and see if I can make my mind up. But why this wind's blowing up this way, it's supposed to be blowing up this way till tomorrow morning, going into tomorrow morning, so I think I'll have another night on here just to see why the wind's blowing up here, and then move tomorrow. I think it'll end up being on one of the other lakes. I'm not sure which one yet, but Alright, I'm going to make myself another cup of coffee. The fishing dog down there, look. She's hardly moved this morning. Even she can feel the cold. She can. But she's keeping me lovely and warm at night. She's been laying on the bed. Instead of having her bed on the floor now, she gets up on my bed. She has a couple of blankets on there, and then when I'm in bed, she keeps me lovely and warm. I keep her warm, she keeps me warm. It's like having a giant hot water bottle. Absolutely wicked it is. But anyway, I'm going to sign off for now, people. I'm going to watch today. I didn't put any bait in last night. I haven't put a lot of bait in anyway over my spots. Not a lot at all really. I think what I'll do is not put any bait in this morning, and then just put a little bit in at tea time, and then just see what happens, and that's it. I'm not going to mix no more spot up until I know whether I'm moving and what I'm doing and how I'm going to be fishing or whatever. It's pointless me mixing any more in case it don't get used. But anyway, I'm going, people, because I'm waffling again. So I'll catch you in a bit. Adios. Update, people. I've moved off a late 6. Just weren't feeling it at all. It was blowing that northerly wind up the top right into me, but there was nothing. Come on down here, Sky. But there was nothing happening, so I've moved this afternoon. I've come on to Lake 5 and look at it, it's beautiful. It feels so much better straight away. I'm tucked right down in a corner where nobody else can interfere with me. There's the fishing dog, Sky. There she is. She's got more room to manoeuvre about, even though it's a smaller peg. The way everything's set out, I'll just show you. She's got more room, and nobody can get in at the back of us. I can see straight out onto the lake. So it's perfect, absolutely perfect. And what I've done is, there's a lot of weed, but I found a spot over to the right, which is about 8 1/4 wraps out, and it's this side of a load of weed. And what I've done is I've put a boiler rig out there, a snowman rig, and I've put a couple of handfuls of boilers in that area. It's pretty clean around there. There is bits of all the bits of weed here and there, but nothing to worry about. But this side is banked up with weed here, all along there. So what I've done is I've put a little cheeky rod down there. What I've done is cleared all this along here out, so I can get in and out properly with my waders and my rod. So yeah, got a nice little cheeky rod in there. Brilliant. And then my other rods. Where are we? I've got them on my pod. I've cleared that out down there, but I've got to be really careful when I get in the water, so I've put a pole. Put a pole down there. Put a pole down there so that I don't go beyond that point when I'm playing a fish or spodding or whatever, and there's a bit of a stone behind the back of it that now I can put my foot up to. I'm casting from the same spot every time. So, and I'm basically, I've got one out here trying to think where it was now. 8 3/4 wraps, I think it was. And then I've spotted about 7 or 8 spods out with bits of everything in it. And then the other rod is down here, about 4 wraps out, and I've just put a bag out down there till I decide tomorrow what I'm going to do with that rod. So at least now I've got that right hand spot sorted and that middle rod spot sorted. That middle rod is the same again. It's this side of a weed bed, and then there's a weed bed to the left of it, my spot as well. But it's clear coming back this way about 2 or 3 rod lengths. So I do get a fish off that spot, I shouldn't have any problems. My other rod down here, I've just got to watch it don't get into here, so I haven't got much on the clutch. So I've got to get to that rod pretty quickish, but I can play that from there. I don't need to get my waders on for that one, really. So yeah, I feel a lot happier, a lot happier. But I'm going to cut it short because I'm tired. I've only just finished getting the rods in and that. I'll need to quickly nip the dog again. Because it's about, I don't know, 8 o'clock, 7:45, getting near dark. Sunset time, but I feel a lot happier. I feel a lot better. There's just nothing happening on Lake 6. No, there's been no fish out for like 3 days on there. So that's why I've moved down here. And then see what it's like on here. Fish till Sunday on here, and then if it's fishing alright, have a couple more days, or if it's not fishing very well, can either stop on here or go on one of the other lakes for a couple of days. But we'll see. So from me, and from her, Sky, from the fishing dog, I'll catch up with you later, people. So I'll update you in the morning. Let's have a fish tonight, which hopefully, fingers crossed, I do. I've got a good feeling. So I'll catch you in a bit, people. Vlog time. Bit of an update. I hope the camera's picking me up because it's starting to get dark now. It's about 7:45 on Thursday night. Nothing through last night. Nothing showing, didn't hear nothing at all. Still fishing the same spots. Got one rod out to here, 8 1/4 wraps. I'm fishing boilies. Got this rod on my spotted area still. About 35 yards out in the side of a weed bed. And then I've got this bag out here in a clear spot. 4 1/4 wraps. I haven't put any bait on that area, I just keep casting the bag out there. That area there has had about another, what have I put on that today? I put another 7 spods on it this morning, another 5 on it tonight. But I won't put any more on it now, and just leave it and see. But the fish are actually starting to show now tonight. They're showing over here halfway out mainly. I've seen a big one 3/4 of the way out, and I've seen a big one halfway out. The proper shows that I've seen where they're out of the water, a little tiny carp, bloody trains, a little tiny carp made most of the shows that I've seen. But since I've been here, since Sunday, and it's now Thursday, they're the first proper carp I've seen boshing out of the water. I've seen carp mooching about, but I haven't seen any boshing out of the water. So they're starting to show themselves out there now. Out here, the bigger ones. It seems like they're moving over this way. So hopefully my traps are set, hopefully I can snare one of them. I think if they do come across this way, if they can find these boilies, I should be able to hold them there. But I'm very surprised that I hadn't had something before now. Very surprised. I mean, I've been quiet, I've got my spots right, I haven't gone mad with the bait. But everybody you talk to is the same. I was talking to some other lads about 20 minutes ago, they're on pit 6 and they're on about moving down onto 2 because just not doing anything. I said, well, it hasn't done a fish, has it, since Sunday? So on this lake now, Lake 5, there's only me and another lad. There's another lad over here, so he's in that corner, I'm in this corner. All these others from along here, these 4 or 5 along here, they've gone, and the other bloke from over in that corner, one bloke from down that side and one bloke from over the other side have all gone. So I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow, because it's Friday tomorrow. I mean, I've paid up till Sunday, but I've got enough money to fish another 2 days if I want. I'm just going to see what happens. But the trouble is, if the fish keeps showing out that far, I can't get out of that far from here because I've got these trees up here, look. I've got these trees, and even when I'm in the water with my waders, 40-yard cast, 50-yard cast, yeah, any further than that I'm struggling because I can't get the drop on the rod, you know, for me to be able to cast that far. So, and then today it's absolutely pissed it down this afternoon. For about 2.5 hours everything was thick with mud everywhere. Even my bait tubs and that, look, I still got all mud up the sides. All in front of here was just a mud pit, so I've had to wipe it all out, and I've put some towels down and inside the bivvy as well. Cleaned all the floor and put some towels down, and then I've brought my waders inside. So if I do get a run, just bang my waders straight on. If I didn't have Sky with me, I'd sleep in my waders. The fishing dog down there, she keeps shaking. I don't know what's the matter with her. And she can't be cold because I keep covering her with blankets. Bloody trains. These trains are up and down all day and all night. And the traffic behind me here last night, I couldn't sleep. It was horrendous. I can't believe how loud it is. It's directly right behind you. Whereas when I was on 6, it was still behind me, but it was at a different angle and you couldn't hear it so much. But I hardly slept at all last night, and then, like I say, everything got soaked this afternoon, so I was a bit late to getting my rods out than where I wanted to be. And the dog, she don't like the fact that she's on lead. She's having to be kept on lead, aren't you, fishing dog? Eh? Yeah, she says, I don't like that. But because she's being kept on lead, having to be kept on lead, which you've got to her, she don't like it. She just won't settle properly. She's up and down, but the trouble is she's up and down at the wrong times. I'll take her for walks twice a day, or then nip her to the toilet in between for a quick 5 minutes round the back of the bivvy. But she's not going to the toilet, and then when I settle down and I've got something to do, she's wanting to be up again and going to the toilet again, and it's throwing all my routine and everything out. It's causing no end of problems, but it's part and parcel of it, I suppose. But I've got to get a fish. I can't blank. Like I say, I don't know of any fish that's come out yet since Sunday. And we're on Thursday. Them big ones are showing again right out there. That one's about 3/4 of the way across. They're definitely all in the middle, them big ones. Must feel safe there, that's why. Surely if we get loads of people on that side tomorrow, it's going to push them over this way. Surely. We'll have to see. There's nothing else really for me to tell you, apart from I'm a bit gutted really. I thought would have had some fish out by now, but when it's fishing the way it's fishing, with the weather being up and down, 1 minute it's red hot, then it's cold, then it's raining, then it's gone red hot again, and then all of a sudden night time it's going red hot, and then you ain't got your tops on and stuff, get into bed, and then you wake up early hours in the morning and it's freezing cold. And this spot what I'm in here is absolutely riddled out with rats. It's swarming with rats at night time. Impossible for me to sleep with the bivvy door open. I've tried it, and they're in the bloody bivvy even while the dog's there. They're not bothered. So I've been sleeping with the bivvy door down. I've never known a place as bad as this for rats, apart from London Road when I'm fishing on there. But oh, it's raining again. I'm going to sign off, people, because it's raining, and I want to just want to get this towel brought in front of me a little bit, get the door down. So I'll sign off for now, and I'll catch up with you later, people. Adios amigos. Update, people. It's now Friday, it's about 6 o'clock. I've moved two of my rods. The spot that I was on, that spot at like 30 odd yards out, good spot but nothing, there's just no fish showing there. And I've seen a few more fish showing now, and they're showing at about 90 yards out in front of me. I've seen about 4 or 5 shows today, and I've seen a couple in that area later on last night before it got dark. So what I've done is I've gone out there with just a lead on one of the rods, and had a good lead about for about an hour and 20 minutes, and I've managed to find where they was near where they was showing. I found a gravel bar. Well, at least I think it's a gravel bar. Depth wise it's about 11-12 foot there, whereas all around it it's deeper. It's 15 foot the other side and it's 15 foot this side before it starts sloping back, before it comes across this way and then starts sloping down a little bit. But I've got good clean gravel on, I'd say, 2 rod lengths, you know, either side of my spot, and probably a rod length, half a rod length either side. And then as soon as I come this half a rod length this side, it goes into weed again. So I've got my rod tips high up and I'm fishing with a tight line. But the gravel bit that I've found, if you go to the left, there's a little bit of silt and then gravel, and then there's gravel, and then it feels like silt again. So I think it's a bit of a bar what I've found. It's definitely an area that they've been feeding on, because that's where I've seen the fish showing. So I've wrapped it up at about, what is it? It's about 78 yards where I found that gravel bar, and it's out where them 2 trees are there. It's out there. I've got 1 rod one side of that tree and 1 rod the other side of the tree. Like I say, it's like silt here, then it hits gravel, 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 silt, gravel, and then silt. So I'm sure it's a bar. I'm sure it's a bar. I mean, I hadn't had my marker out that way in case anybody else is fishing, but I'm 100% sure that I've hit some sort of bar, found some sort of bar, should I say. So I've put 2 rods on that. I've got one with normal rigs on it, with it being clean. I've put double sweet corn on one of them, popped up slightly, and then well, wafted. And then on the other one I've got a snowman, crazed boil, topped with Nash garlic and liver topper soaked in crave liquid. There's definitely fish in that area because it keeps slicking up where I put the bait out. I mean, when I put the bait out, that was this afternoon, I got the bait out about 3 o'clock. I put 20 spods out. Put 20 spods out, and then I've got the rods in about 15 minutes later, and then I've left them, and I'm going to leave them now until tomorrow and see what happens. But I've got a good feeling. I feel a lot more confident on that spot there. There's just no fish showing close in. I've still kept 1 rod, my boilie rod, down here in the margin, you know, just in case that rod's going to stop there. I'm not going to move that rod, and then just keep the other 2 on that area. And like I say, I've had to move the pod over slightly so that I can get into cast to my area better, and I've got the rod slightly up so that the line's not hitting the weed that's out in front of me, and it's not hitting that weed that's this side of that bar that I found. So that should be alright. Another fucking nightmare though, what's happened, my pod, what I've got, my JRC pod, which I've had now for about 7 years, and I love it because you can have it lower, higher. I use it on the river with it right up, with my rods right high in the water. It's gone in the legs, where the legs screw up tight, they've given way at the top, so it's almost like they're snapping away. the metal at the top of them. So I'm going to have to get myself another pod. But I'll definitely get another one of them, I think, because they're only about 80 quid there. I ain't got the money to pay £200 and something for another one. It's either that or I'm going to buy 2 sets of singles, a longer set of singles and a shorter set. Because I want a set of singles anyway. And then, so I'll have to make my mind up whether I go for the pod or go for the 2 sets of single sticks. I'm going to have a look on the internet in a bit and see what's what. And then when I come back off this trip, I've got loads more work lined up. I'm going to have to buy myself another pod or sets of sticks, and that could have done me out because I'm trying to save up for a laptop, but that's the way it is, people. So there's quite a few on there. There's about another, I reckon there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I reckon there's about 12 people on here now. 13 people on here. Some of the others went, and then there's some more on here. So by the time darkness comes, I should imagine there'll be about 18 on here. I don't know about 6 because I haven't walked up as far as that today, but I've seen a hell of a lot of cars going up there, so I could be packed solid, I would have thought. But yeah, so fingers crossed, people. I feel confident anyway. I'm in the right area, I think, for this peg that I'm in. A little bit tricky casting because I've got that up there to contend with. Where I'm casting, I've got about 3 inches. If I stand too high, that's it, I'm knackered. I'm not be able to cast them in the tree. So I've got some stones in the water where I wade out that I put my feet on, so I know I'm in the right position. So, right, I'm going to sign off for now and get a beer. Sit and watch the sunset and watch the water. So I'll catch you in a bit, people. Tight lines for now.